Ever feel like you've missed your window? That maybe building something new at this stage in your life just isn't for you? Because if you're like me, you're over 40. You've gathered stories and scars and skills that no algorithm can teach. Your timing isn't off, it's actually perfect. Because you are the niche, and you, my friend, are right on time. It's not about gurus and gimmicks, it's about awakening. It's about building a legacy from your lived experience, from the inside out, and I like to call this your heart brand. Ever wondered how to find yours? Well, stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you how I walked away from 20 plus bosses, a corporate job that didn't value me, and a life that I was actually supposed to want, all to build a business rooted in who I already was. Not just strategy, but soul. Because when your work reflects your truth, everything shifts. And here's the real reason that I'm sharing this with you. Because if you're over 40, you're sitting on decades of wisdom that the world needs right now. This isn't just my story, it's yours. You're not too late, you're right on time. And it's your heart brand that I want you to discover today. Now, if you're finding this speaks to you, take a look at the Heart Brand Creators Circle, a place for thoughtful creators to connect and grow. There's a link in the description. Now, 12 years ago, I started my own social media agency. No investors, just a phone, a vision, and a stubborn midlife grit. But here's the truth. I traded one set of bosses for 20 more. Clients who paid me and then held the reins. Now, maybe you felt that too, the weight of doing good work, but always on someone else's terms. Now, before all this, I was a police officer, believe it or not. The path was mapped out, 30 years to retirement and a pension if I actually made it. But I kept feeling this gentle nudge, this inner knowing. Is this really what I'm here for? Was I meant to wait decades to finally start living, only to watch the best years slip by? So after 10 years, I made the scariest, most freeing choice. I walked away. I decided to reclaim my life and build my next chapter around one thing: the embodied wisdom that life had already given me. Now, when I finally tuned in and actually listened to my own story, not someone else's script, but my soul's truth, everything shifted. That's when I began to realize your experience isn't just your equity, it's your legacy, it's your heart brand. And that's where the real transformation began. Because once you start building from your center, from your alignment, your content and your business, well, they become a transmission, not a performance. So let me show you what happened next. Well, the pivot point was when I actually chose to build a business around my family, my values, and what truly matters. Not just a brand, but a legacy. You see, I realized that business should expand your life, not contract it. So every piece of content, every offer, every video became an intentional act of service. A transmission from my lived experience. Now, here's the shift. When you show up for your audience, the way you wish someone had shown up for you, you move from performers to permission. That's when your content stops being noise and starts being a signal. Something that activates and inspires and resonates. On this channel, I hope you'll see it in action. I teach 4 core content types that every conscious creator needs to build a heart brand and magnetic presence. Now, there's connection content, stories that awaken, unite, and create real resonance. Next, you've got credibility content, proof that's rooted in transformation and not just trophies. Then we have conversion content, invitations that feel like service and not salesy scripts. And character content, your unique voice, values, your vibe, this unfiltered. Because here's the truth, if people don't know you, they can't like you. And if they don't like you, they'll never trust you enough to buy from you, or indeed join your movement. Now, I didn't pull this out of thin air. I listened, really listened to what my audience needed, and then I created. And that's what I invite you to do too. We're not just building businesses, we're building conscious movements together. So how do you actually create content that's more than just noise? Content that magnetizes, that moves, and that inspires action. Well, let me break down the exact framework that I use so that you can model it for your own heart brand. Sound like a plan? Now, if you're feeling this, give it a like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's Let this algorithm know that you are awake too. Now, let's talk about conversion content first. You see, everyone in business wants to make sales, but let's be real for a moment. This is where most people freeze. Not because they're greedy, but because they're scared of sounding salesy. When you see selling as service, as an invitation to transform, everything shifts. And if you've got something that changes lives, it's your responsibility to offer it with intention, not apology. So I have an action step for you. Journal on this. What do I know can actually genuinely help somebody today? How can I invite them into a conscious conversation about it? Because when you show up as the guide and not the guru, you give your audience permission to step forward, not just to buy, but to begin their own journey. Okay, so now we have what you wanted figured out. Let me tell you what you really need to move the dial. It's so easy to fall back on case studies and testimonials or a wall of logos, but here's the truth. Real credibility, it's not about you. It's about the ripple effect that you create in someone else's life. Now, at the time of recording this, I've helped over 75 people in the Heart Brand Blueprint. And honestly, my favorite wins aren't even my own. They're seeing my clients' children light up as their parents step into new purpose, or witnessing partners become proud as someone reclaims their voice. You see, when you create their story, you create real connection. So if you're just starting out, this is for you. Think of one person who has ever thanked you, been helped by something you've shared, or simply just smiled because your words or your actions. Write it down. This is your first credibility story. It counts, even if it's small. If your audience can't see themselves inside your story, it won't stick. And credibility is about showing the journey, not just the arrival. Now, this one isn't about technical skills. It's about the courage to be vulnerable. And most creators skip it. Why? Because it's raw. When you speak your truth, the stuff most people avoid, that's what opens hearts. Inside the Heart Brand Blueprint, I lead you through this in real time. And just this week, Alex, a new member, embarked on a simple but powerful exercise. And here's what he shared in the community. He said this was a transformative experience and really made me question a lot about who I am. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm all in on this course as the time for positive change is now. So is laying it all bare, open and honest in ways I never normally do. That's what this work does. When you dare to tell the story you usually hide, you move from performance to permission. You let people breathe deeper and feel safe enough to do the same. So an action step is ask yourself this question. What's a real honest story, even a small one, that you've never shared online before? It could be a simple fear, a turning point, or a lesson you've learned. The power isn't in the polish, it's in the truth. See, when you name what others hide, you don't just connect, you give people permission to breathe deeper and be seen. Now, my favorite step. This is the part most skip because it's scary to be fully seen. But the parts of you that feel too much, well, that's actually what your people are waiting to meet. This isn't just about personal branding, it's about personal liberation. Every time you unfilter your voice, you give others the permission slip to do the same. So here's an action step for you. Ask yourself, what part of me have I been filtering that's actually my magic? Now, I did this with the Ask the Angels video. It's one of my best today and brought me more clients than anything else. You see, when your content sounds like you, unapologetically, you magnetize people who feel like home. You stop performing and you start transmitting. Now, they are your next 4 videos. You don't need a new personality or a new niche. You just need to show up with clarity, alignment, and your true voice. That's the real shift, your performance to permission. And that's how you build a heart brand that stands out for the test of time. Now, maybe you're wondering if all of this really applies to you. Well, guess what? The answer is, if you've made it this far, it certainly does. This is your permission slip to start showing up in your own way. You see, you don't need anybody else's blueprint. You don't need a bigger audience or more credentials. You just need to start and keep showing up honest, consistent, and unapologetically you. If you're over 40, your wisdom isn't just welcome here. It's needed. You are the niche. And the best time to share your story is always now. And if you want to go deeper, come and join us in the Heartbrand Creator Circle, where thoughtful creators connect, share, and grow together. You'll find everything you need in the description below. And in this next video, I'm going to show you how to turn these 4 content types into YouTube videos that build your brand step by step. Let's keep building together. Take care. Much love. Big Daddy out.